If you're setting up a new checkout lane or upgrading an old one, you probably want something that just works day after day, doesn't surprise you with hidden costs, and feels solid enough to survive the occasional bump from a hurried customer. That's the exact dilemma I wrestled with when I started looking at Al-Anon touchscreen terminals for my small boutique. The market is littered with glossy spec sheets promising ultra-thin displays and endless connectivity options, but the real question is whether any of those promises translate into a smooth, reliable front-of-house experience. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Elo EloPOS 15-inch model tries to strike a balance between durability and flexibility. It's a 4:3 touchscreen built into a splash-proof housing, which immediately signals it's meant for the hustle of a retail environment. What caught my eye was the integrated expansion hub on the stand, a single piece where you can plug in your receipt printer, barcode scanner, cash drawer, and even a card reader without needing a separate dongle or external hub. For a shop that already has a hodgepodge of peripherals, that can simplify the wiring mess and keep the countertop looking tidy. One of the first things I checked was the operating system situation. Unlike many POS displays that lock you into a proprietary OS, the EloPOS comes without an OS baked in. In practice, that means you can install your own Linux distro. SE, Ubuntu, or Red Hat are all pre-tested so you can match it with the exact software stack you already use. If you've ever been frustrated by a vendor forcing you onto a closed platform, this openness is a genuine time saver. On the flip side, the lack of a built-in OS also puts the initial setup burden on you. If you're not comfortable flashing a Linux image or don't have an IT person on call, you'll need to allocate some hours to get it up and running, which could be a deal-breaker for an untechnical shop owner. From a day-to-day perspective, the 15-inch screen is a solid size for a point-of-sale terminal. It's large enough to show a clear checkout interface, inventory lookup, and promotional banners without cramming everything into tiny widgets. The 4:3 aspect ratio actually works in my favor for retail apps that traditionally display product lists in columns. I tested it with a typical retail POS system, and the touch response was snappy, no lag, no missed taps. The splash-proof housing did its job when a customer accidentally knocked a coffee cup onto the screen, the moisture didn't seep in, and the display kept functioning, which is exactly the kind of stress test you want from a commercial-grade device. The integrated expansion hub deserves a deeper look. Because it can support up to 4 peripherals simultaneously, you can attach a receipt printer, a barcode scanner, a cash drawer, and a card reader all at once. The hub uses USB-C connectors, which means you don't need to hunt for legacy USB-A ports on a cramped back panel. In a real-world scenario, that translates to a cleaner setup and fewer cable tangles, which is a small but noticeable productivity boost for cashiers who have to fumble with cords during rush hour. However, the hub's limitation to 4 devices could be restrictive for larger operations that need additional hardware like a customer-facing display or a third scanner. In those cases, you'd have to bring in an external USB hub, which adds another point of failure. Another practical advantage is the Elo Edge Connect feature. It's a proprietary docking system that lets you snap on up to 4 peripheral modules cleanly. The claim is that it reduces wear on the USB-C ports over time, which is a sensible design choice for a device that will be plugged and unplugged regularly. In my testing, swapping the receipt printer for a scale didn't require any tools, just a click, and the system recognized the new device within seconds. That ease of modularity is useful for pop-up shops or seasonal businesses that reconfigure their checkout desks frequently. Now, who should actually buy this terminal? If you run a small to medium retailer, CAF, or boutique that already uses Linux-based POS software and you're comfortable handling a bit of system configuration, the EloPOS 15-inch is a compelling choice. Its rugged enclosure, splash-proof design, and integrated hub make it well suited for high-traffic areas where drops and spills are inevitable. It also shines for owners who value the ability to customize their OS environment without being locked into a vendor's ecosystem. Conversely, if you are a franchise with strict IT policies that require a pre-configured OS, or if you're a shop that wants a plug-and-play solution with no setup overhead, you might look elsewhere. The need to install your own Linux distribution could be a stumbling block, especially for businesses that lack an in-house tech team. Additionally, if your peripheral list exceeds 4 devices, the built-in hub won't be enough, and you'll need to invest in extra hardware, which erodes the Al-Anon appeal. In terms of value, the price point sits in the mid-range for commercial POS terminals, but the real savings come from not